got the glutes, I got the calves, I got the abs. I got the glutes, I got the calves, I got the abs. It's time to get lit, it's time to get fit. Let's meal prep and get it in, get it in. Get rich, transformation, freedom, and innermost heaven. Let's hit the gym and get fit, get fit. Get rich, Well, hello. Good morning, Keisha. Good morning, Damon. So good to see y'all here. You're like, you get up, you don't know, hey, is somebody gonna show up? But I thank God for my 545 crew. As they say, in the place, in the building. And so we are just so grateful, and I thank God for your prayers and those that checked on me. I'm feeling much, much better. The room is not spinning, thank the Lord. So we are moving in the right direction, and so we're grateful for what God has done and what He's doing in our lives. And so we are still on making great choices, and this is the last week of talking about being tempted and distractions. And so we have to make sure. Good morning. Look, we're good to see you. Look, live and in the fresh, in the fresh. You hear that? Fresh and in the flesh. So good to see you, Mother Deborah. And so we have to think about all the things that we're grateful for and what God does for us. And so when we're able to be clothed in our right mind and start on our way. So we thank God for His total healing. And y'all continue to keep me in your prayers. But like I said, the room is not spinning, so we're thankful for that. So when we start talking about distractions and temptations, this is, and then tomorrow we'll start in phase 4 of doing the right thing, making the right decisions and stuff. Good morning, Mother McKnight. So good to see you. So we're no longer going to be distracted and tempted. We now have some tools that will keep us from doing that. So, and then tomorrow we'll start week 4, and we'll start a new topic series, still making better choices, but it will give you another from another angle. So today's topic is talking about dress for your spiritual success. Yesterday about took us all out. That whole, your circle and your purpose, and protect your circle, protect your purpose. I got a lot of comments. Good morning, Tanya. So good to see you. Got a lot of comments, and a lot of people, sent me a message, said, girl, you was all up in the business. And so when we think about our circle and our purpose, then we have to, it builds right on up to this dress for our spiritual success. And so when we're coming from Romans 13, verse 4, and I'm in the Children's Bible, and it says this: but clothe yourself with the Lord Jesus. Forget about satisfying your sinful self. And so I had to go on over there to the Gen Z to see what the Gen Z was talking about. And Gen Z says it like this. Well, I'm gonna go up to verse 3, because I'm 13 and 13 of this. It says this: yo, let's keep it real. Be straight up with our actions. No partying and no getting wasted. No doing shady stuff in private. No unnecessary drama and jealousy. Instead, embrace the vibes of the Lord Jesus, and don't even think about indulging into worldly desires. That just gets me like, yo, let's keep it real. I mean, be straight up. Like, we don't want to be in a predicament where we playing games. Like, we're grown, like we are good and grown. And if you about that, like, don't play no games with me. Say, put some fire in the chat. Like, I don't like nobody playing no games with me. I'm grown, like good and grown. And don't play no games. Let me see some fire in the chat. If you don't like nobody playing no games, you want people to be straight up with who they say they are. Put some fire in the chat. I just want to see who on the same page with me this morning. As I drink this water. Okay, Keisha. She said, okay, yeah, straight up. Come on. Come on, be straight up with me. Like, we ain't playing no games, like, it's straight, no chasing. That's what my mama and them used to say, give it to me straight. I don't want no chaser. I don't want no, don't be playing around with me. Give it to me like you gonna give it to me. Put some fire in that chat. Let me see. And so when we think about those things and we're dressing for success, for spiritual success, not just success, but spiritual success, we have to put on those things that are of God. And so straight listens. Don't make me go shots, 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 shots. Okay, I'm back. I derailed for a minute. So this is what Damon, he gonna bring us that word. And it says right here, Romans 13:3. Wait a minute. Oh, it's 13. It's 13 and 13 and 14, Damon. That's what it is. But this right here says, for the rulers are up for a terror of good work, but of evil. Wilt it not be afraid of the power? Okay, do that which is good. This is still good though, Damon. And thou shalt have praise of the same. For he is a minister of God for thee is good, but thou do which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain, for he is the minister of God, a revenger to execute wrath upon who does evil. But it's Romans 13 and 14, Damon. 13 and 14 of Romans 13. But that's good right there too. And so we have to think about what we're doing. And so when we start talking about what we want to do, like when the challenges of being clothing ourselves with Christ, we have to think about, well, how do I do this? I mean, you got to do this. This is a daily walk, y'all. You can't just wake up and be like, boom, I have the anointing of God. I have the power of God. You got to put some work in. Like, you can't just wake up and you're Joyce Myers, or I ain't even go far fetched like that. Wake up and be a Pastor Leah Hill McNair. I mean, I have known her since she was a teenager, and I've seen what God has developed into who she is now. She put in the work as a teenager, y'all. She's in her 40s now. So she got over 30 something years, or over 20 something years of building and developing to who you see now as our circle pastor. Good morning, Dr. Lejeune. So good to see you. So when you think about, because I said Joyce Meyer, because people, Joyce Meyer, you got TD Jakes and all that stuff. I ain't even gonna go that far. I ain't even gonna go that far for my reach. I'm gonna say my own pastor, like Pastor Leah Hill McNair. When I first met her, she was a teenager, okay, a whole teenager. I didn't know that at the time, because we don't ask people their age, and so she was a whole teenager, right? And so, and to see what God has done in her life and throughout her life and throughout her ministry, it started in her as a teenage girl, right? So when we start developing and thinking about spiritual success, we have to put the work in, right? I came across a, a, a live on social media, and it was somebody was interviewing Tabitha Brown. Like, we found out about Tabitha Brown during the pandemic. I think that's when it just like boof, it just took off. But she had been doing stuff way a long time. It's just that one All it takes is one opportunity, one chance, one thing um get us where God want us. So you got to think about all that work that she put in. She had been um going through, she had been putting in the work. Good morning, Mo. She had been doing a lot of little things, doing a lot of little odd jobs. Like when she became um blew up, it was from one post that she made about a sandwich. But she had been doing little stuff. She had been auditioning and all this stuff, been out in Hollywood and doing all these things. And she said when she called her husband, he was at work. Now, mind you, he was a police officer. She called him, he said, "Baby, I believe I done went viral." And so then she started selling t-shirts. And so her t-shirt, she was like, "Man, I just made $20,000." He was like, "Okay, oh yeah, good, good." He in the car with his partner and all these things like this. And then, he gets back, get off by himself and say, "What you say, babe?" So then she started selling stuff and it started booming, booming. So success is not overnight. And it's things that you got to do. You got to have a good character. You got to have a good mindset. You got to put on Christ every single day. Yep, she's truly stepped out there on the faith of God. And so when I first was doing this, that's what somebody said. Oh, you trying to be like Tabitha Brown? No, I'm not. I'm trying to be like Tina. Like whatever the Lord has for me is for me. Because one of my desires is to retire my husband. And I'm glad she was able to do it. But I've been saying that for a long time before she ever came about. Because why? Because Mr. Blackman has supported me in all my endeavors. Every degree that I have, everything. Look, matter of fact, he got those degrees too, because he he proofread papers. He stayed up with me all night while I'm trying to do some things. So when whatever the Lord has for me, yes, that was thinking whoever absolutely. And so what if I was want to be like her? She's a successful woman. I mean, who wouldn't? I want to be like my pastor. Look, my pastor has been living by the gospel for years. Like I don't know when the last time she worked the 9 to 5. I want to be an entrepreneur and be able to have a flexible schedule. And I know what comes with being an entrepreneur. But when we start thinking about this, putting on Christ is a daily decision. Yes, we can't stay stuck. We got to move forward. Look, we got to move. Our pastor is giving us a blueprint, like of what some things to do. So yes, and you better believe it. Mr. Blackman stuck right there by my side. So I'm glad you tuned in, Mode, because hey, um, these messages, and I'm gonna pause right here. Y'all go on and share this out to somebody. Somebody might need to hear this morning. Somebody that's on your friend group that's not on mine may need to hear this morning. So please share it, okay? So when we start thinking about that and we start uncovering, like it says, putting on, when we make a decision to put on Christ daily, it's just like we wouldn't go out of the house naked, right? We wouldn't, like, if I wake up and we put on our pajamas at night, for those that sleep in pajamas. I ain't gonna tell Mr. Blackman's business, but we ain't gonna just walk out uh but naked. Like we gonna put some clothes on, right? So if we're not gonna leave our house in the natural um without any clothes on, then guess what? Thank you so much, Mo, for sharing them every day. I sure do appreciate it. Then we have to start thinking about, okay, I gotta clothe myself. If I'm gonna have spiritual success, I gotta clothe myself with this every day. And part of this going live, this, like I said, this started out as a 21-day challenge that I in a prayer group. And um and that call is only once a month, the first Wednesday of the month. And so today is that call. And so I'm looking forward to, we got a guest speaker today. So but it started out with a leader pushing other leaders within this prayer call to say, start doing something. You're leaving money on the table. Like, she's a pastor to entrepreneurs. Shout out to Pastor Danella Coffee, out of Chicago. And so when you think about this, like, when somebody's pushing you to get to something, um this is bigger than a 21-day challenge, right? So I'm like, okay, God, you orchestrated this. You knew I needed some structure in my life. So you have to think about how all this lines up. God strategically do what he do, right? So if I'm going to be successful spiritually, I got to put on some spiritual clothes. Just like I'm when you dress for success, you dress for success. Who out here knows that if you're looking for something, and when you're going to look for a job, you're gonna put your best foot forward, right? So when you want to represent Christ, you got to put on the whole armor. Like, you can't just come out here have had, because guess what? We got a whole devil out here, y'all. That if we don't arm ourselves with the right stuff and be clothed in the things of God, because one thing we know is that this flesh be fleshing, and the flesh gratifies, and the spirit man sanctifies us. And so we have to think about this. The flesh is looking for a quick fix. You know how when people say, quick, they want something quick. We want it right then, right there, right this, because it's an instant gratification. But when you think about doing something in the spirit, the spirit man leads you to long term stuff, leads you to your purpose. And so when you have purpose and you have a divine an assignment, you got to start cultivating this thing. You can't just wake up and say, I'm gonna be Pastor Leah. I'm gonna be Joyce Meyer. I'm gonna be, TD Jakes, Sarah Jakes. I'm gonna be, Pastor May, because he's got years and years and years. Like, he studied under his grandfather, right? And so he tells that story how his grandfather, first of all, he used to get in trouble. So his mama used to send him to his grandfather, which turned out to be what turned out to be a punishment really became a blessing in disguise, because he was in the boardroom, he was in the meetings, and then now he's one of the best businessmen, and can work that thing out about business and anything, and can do those types of things. And so we have to make sure that we put on the whole arm of God, because that we may withstand the wiles against the devil. You better put up this word, Damon, because if we this devil is he ain't playing fair, and we know we're in the last and evil days, like right now. So we know that we have some things that we're up against. When we start looking at what's happening in our world, we know that God we better keep God on the throne. Okay, we better keep him with us, and we better stay with the whole armor, not just a little bit of it, the whole armor, all of it. So when we think about what should we wear, determines what we walk in. And so sometimes you have to outweigh the good and the bad, and decide and make a decision. And so there are times that you may make a decision that somebody may not understand, but they don't know your story, they don't know what God is telling you in your instructions. And so when you think about your spiritual wardrobe, it impacts your choices. Like, when the more you get with God, you make some different choices. And if that's you, if when since you have been making the decision to make God first, tell me, have your life changed since you've been doing it? Have you been making different choices? I just want to know if it's just me. Like, am I the only one that's been getting in this word? And right when I would do something, they say when I would do good, evil is always present, but then I have to make a choice and do good. I have to do what's right. I'm gonna take a drink of water on that. Put it in the chat. If you had to armor up and you had to make a better choice, since and you find yourself making better choices, that you make a decision to follow God. I just want to know, out of the 8 of y'all that's on here this morning, and say something to me. If you tell me, hey, let me know you in there. Yeah, things hit a little bit different. Yeah, it's looking a little different. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Good morning, Teresa. So good to see you. Yeah. Yes, because the ones closer to you listen. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you have to make a decision. As my friend Tamiko says, you have to choose. Good morning, Lisa. So good to see you. You have to choose peace over frustration. So I want you to begin to we always, excuse me. Now I got these hiccups. I don't know where they're coming from. Um, we always have to I always leave y'all with a life application. It's something to do. And so begin today and pray this. Lord, today, and somebody put this in the chat for me. Lord, today I put on Christ. Cover my mind, my heart, and my actions so I can reflect you. Let's say it again for the people in the back. Um, Lord, today I put on Christ. Cover my mind, my heart, and my actions so it reflect you. And then I want you to start beginning to um pay attention how you responding to stuff. Like, that's one of the things that the Lord is teaching me. Like, I really have to watch. Yes, you have to, what you say, rebuke all things that's not of God. You better believe it. And Damon says it like this: I find that a law that when I would do good, evil is always present. Yes. Listen, Mother McKnight says since she decided to walk with God, to walk this way, there is a difference. Because you can be otherwise minded. And boy, when I said that the other week, Kiara and Sis Krista, they got so tickled. They said otherwise minded. I said, yeah, because you can have other minds. Okay. Okay. So we have to begin to ask God to help us do some things while we're yet in this body. We want to have the mind of Christ. And speaking of that, I want to invite you. This is our second conference. We got an early bird special, and so it's August the 16th. It's a Saturday, and we got none other than the theologian herself, Mother Monroe. And and I get so excited about this because Mother Monroe was very instrumental. She's one of the mothers at the sisters for this at the sister circle, but she's gonna be at Circle City Church. Um, excuse me, these sinuses. Clothed in royalty, ready for battle. And we're gonna have Teresa Lindsay, who is a good friend of mine. She's gonna be our guest psalmist. She's gonna sing the house down. And then we have two different panelists that's gonna do like a little breakout session, and one session will be about grief and loss and those types of things, and the other one is going to be about getting your money right. Okay, we're going to have a little shopping, some vendors. So if you are someone who sells a product or know somebody who sells a product and want to be a vendor, send them my way, because there's some vendor opportunities. We have very limited spaces, and so we want people to be able to come. So if you're an entrepreneur or you know somebody that have some good products, some good things that you want to share, share this out. Invite your mom, invite your grandmom, and invite your aunties. Invite some friends. Tell a friend of a friend. This is gonna be a conference second to none. It's our second annual, and we open it up for for women 40 and up. And if you in your 30s and you say, hey, I think I want to be with the seasoned women, I think I want to learn a little something, just let me know. We can figure out how we can get you in there, you know. And so $40 and before July 30th, and then it goes up, I think, to 45. So yes, come on in and enjoy, see what the Lord is saying, and um we're gonna have a good time. And so now I don't go into messing with stuff. Okay. Yes. Lord, today I put on Christ, cover my mind, my heart, and my action so it reflects you. Thank you so much, Keisha, for putting that up. And y'all, I want y'all to, if you're gonna start making some good decisions here, uh well, Lord, what you know what? We gonna tell the Lord thank you for this message, because if it didn't help but with one person, he said he will watch that 99 is over there to go back to get the one. So I'm glad this was a blessing for you. And she said this here. So when she said was needed every day is like, why? Okay. So you know what? God, he knows what we need when we need it. And I don't be knowing, but he be knowing. And so we always say, God, he hits who it hit, whoever's meant for. And like I said, share it, let somebody know that this is something that we are going to do. We're going to wear the mindset of Christ. We're going to be spirit led. We're going to walk in this spirit, not in this flesh. And if you read it and you about it, I want you to put, I'm ready. I'm ready to make moves for Christ. Put it on in there. Let me see who read it with me. See who is ready to put on Christ. Yeah, well, thank you, Keisha. So good. Glad that it was a message. Wasn't like yesterday, because yesterday got me about choked up, but we already know we protecting our circle. We're gonna protect our purpose. And now that we know that, we paying attention to what we doing, we were paying attention to how we're responding. We're gonna choose Christ every day, and we're gonna put him in our regimen. And so as we get up and we begin to make God, okay, I see you, Tanya. She said she ready. And so when we're ready and we're ready to do the things of God and move like God tell us to move, Deborah said she ready. I'm ready. Listen, we ready because we got to make a move for Christ, because y'all, it's enough out here in this world. It's enough moving and shaking. Now we got to move in the direction of Christ, because he is soon to come, and we got to be ready. I don't want him to say, depart from me, for I never knew you. So continue to make right choices. This was the last series on, and we'll start our new series, still making better choices. And we'll start a new series on tomorrow. So same time, same back channel. Y'all take care, and I'll see you in the morning. Make good choices, because we ready. We putting on Christ daily so we can have our spiritual success.
Baby, now tell me exactly